Hello everyone, I am Pooja Lahane. Today I am going to explain the what is MERN Stack and what does it mean in development. So basically, web development. In web development, there are so many technologies are available like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and in between that we are going to see that what does mean of this MERN Stack. So basically, MERN stands for here. M stands for MongoDB, which is basically a NoSQL database, which is a document oriented. Then E stands for Express, which is basically a Node.js framework, which is used for backend. With the help of we can create the APIs like login, authentication, middleware, and all these things we can make easily with Express, which is basically built on top of this Node.js. Then React. So basically, React is basically a JavaScript library. With the help of we can make the front end, and it is basically built on the it is which is basically built on JavaScript. And then N stand for Node.js, which is basically a Node.js runtime environment. What it provides, it is not any language or not any framework. It is just environment. With the help of what we can do, with the help of we can run JavaScript as front end as well as back end on the both side, because Node.js give us an environment with that we run JavaScript on both side, and using the single language for front end as well as back end, it gives a smooth ongoing development. And with the help of only single language, we can become a full stack developer. The next one is the building block of the web development. So basically, before learning the MERN stack, there are some building block. We have the proper understanding before going to the this MERN stack. So basically, what does it mean of this HTML? So HTML stand for Hypertext Markup Language. With the help of we can structure the structure of the web development. What we can do, HTML is basically a markup language. With the help of we can structure the all the web page. HTML is the foundation of all the web pages. Before learning any language or building any application, it is just foundation, and it's compulsory to make the front end. It's markup language that defines the structure and content using elements. So basically, HTML is a markup language. With the help of we just defining the structure. If we have the car, basically of a car, so basically we just define the structure. So how many seats were there, where is what is the width of this car, what is height, all these things, all the structure we just define with this by using this HTML, without adding any color, any logic, just the defining the content and elements. So how many seats will be there, like these are the elements, and height, width, all these things we just structure, and provides it so many elements, like it also provide elements like we can say that head element as well as h1 tag, all this tag as well as some SEO friendly tag were also there. Then what does mean of this CSS? So basically CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So it is used for styling the web pages. CSS transforms the plain HTML into visually appealing web experiences. So basically by using this HTML we just make the structure of the web page, but we just made this structure without adding any styling, any color to that particular website. So by using this CSS, what we can do, we can add the color and all layout, font and animation, so our website should look good. Then making responsive design possible with features like media queries. So yeah, what we can do, we just made the structure by using this HTML, but if we just add the big elements and big font size like this. So it is not responsive in mobile device. It will not look good. So according to the width of particular device, by adding the media queries, we can make this website useful. We can make it responsive. Then HTML in detail. So basically I'm going to explain HTML shortly. So there are the some key features. It is basically simple and easy to learn because there is no it is not a programming language, it is just a markup language. So it doesn't give any error. If we forgot something like closing tag, so it just ignore the things. It is a platform independent, so it run on every platform. It is not dependent on the different platform. It supports the multimedia as well, like audio video tag we can add into the our website. As well as it is a flexible and extensible also. It have the semantic tags also. So according to the name of that tag, we should know what does mean of this tag. And the semantics tags are SEO friendly also. Supports forms and inputs. So it have the its own element like forms as well as inputs. So according to the input, which is the text number, we can give it. It also support the forms, and we can make the website SEO friendly also by using the HTML element, because they are having the some semantic element also there. And some SEO friendly element like H1, which as well as some title header element. These are the elements, so user get to know the which kind of this element. And SEO friendly, we can give the priority by adding the particular element. Then real world application, so static web page and web forms. So we can make the static web pages by using this single markup language, like blog layouts and content structuring. We can structure the blog and content structuring by using this HTML. Base layer for web application and mobile responsive designs. So it is basically your base layer for web application and mobile responsive designs also. There are the like different HTML version which improving day by day. There were HTML first version which is introduced in 1993, second version is 1995, then third version is introduced 1997, then fourth one is 1999, and HTML 4.0 it is introduced in 2012, and HTML5 which is the current version which is introduced in 2014, and every version added the different features. Then CSS. So basically CSS stand for cascading styling sheet. So which is used for to make the our web page beautiful and good design. So there are some key features: styling types, inline, internal and external. So in while adding the styling to our website, there are the three ways we can use this CSS. Like inline CSS, like in that particular page only, like we just made the single page, like portfolio, like we can use directly in that HTML. As well as we can make in the like style tag by using this internal. As well as we can make the different style.css file, and we can import in our main file, and we can add their CSS also. So it looks good and simpler also, because sometimes adding too much CSS, our page like could look like were more complex. The reason people prefers external CSS if they want to add more CSS. CSS3 introduced powerful features, flexbox and grid for complex layout. So these are the very important feature. With the help of we can make our website more responsive as well as more flexible. We can do transition and animations for dynamic effects. Supports, yes, we can add the transition according to the requirement, like blogging, like carousel, like this, as well as animation, dynamic effects we can add with CSS. Then supports responsive design using media queries to adapt content to different screen sizes. So yeah, we can make the responsive also. Then some real world application like designing modern user interface. We can design the modern user interface by using this: creating engaging landing pages, admin dashboard and portfolios. Then leveraging popular framework like Bootstrap, Tailwind, CSS, and Materialize CSS for rapid development. So on the top of this CSS, there are some styling frameworks are also available like Bootstrap, Tailwind, CSS. So which growing day by day and which is more simpler also. Then basically what does mean of this JavaScript? So basically JavaScript it is basically we can say web intelligence. So what we just make the structure of the our, like I will going to explain by using this simple example. Like we just made the HTML pages, like we just made the HTML I will going to explain with simple example like vehicle. We just make the structure by using the HTML of this vehicle, added the styling coloring by using this CSS, and we are going to add engine. So basically JavaScript is we can say one type of engine. With the help of we can add the logic, which is provided the features like DOM manipulation and event handling. So what we can do in simply we just made the static web pages by using the HTML and CSS. So by using this JavaScript, what we can do, we can make the static web pages into the dynamic web pages. Like if there is like after submitting form, what should happen, which UI should user get, this kind of the things we can manage by using the JavaScript. So basically JavaScript directly interacts with the DOM to dynamically change page content, structure and styles. So it directly interacts with the DOM. DOM stand for document object sorry for, like with the help of what we can do, dynamically change web content, structure and styles. So if you just add the static web pages by using the HTML, so we can update it, or we can change the dynamic by using this JavaScript. It handles user events like clicks, form submission and keyboard input, making web pages interactive. So JavaScript makes the our web page more interactive. So after clicking on particular button, what should happen if user submit the particular forms, where this detail should go, all these things managed by this JavaScript, or we can say DOM. Then next one is the programming paradigms. Then JavaScript supports both object-oriented programming with classes and inheritance, and functional programming with pure functions and immutability, providing flexibility in coding styles. Then it also having the modern syntax like ES6. So basically ECMAScript 6 are the later version introduced modern features like arrow functions for concise syntax, template literals, and easier string concatenation and destructuring and objects. So basically what happened, ES6. So ES6 is the biggest update of this JavaScript, which makes this more simpler, added the so many features like arrow function, which are the concise way, as well as string literals, spread operator, rest operator, and as well as promise, async comment, and so many features which introduced in this ES6. Then asynchronous communication, it enables seamless data fetching from servers without blocking the user interface, using APIs like Fetch and libraries like Exos for efficient asynchronous communication. It also supports the asynchronous communication. So basically JavaScript is a single threaded language. So there were not it is not it having the only single thread, so it is not good for asynchronous communication. But it introduced some features like we can say async await. We can, by using this we can make the possible asynchronous communication. So it can hold for some time, wait for like while fetching the particular data from the database. All these things we can do with JavaScript. Then MERN Stack. MERN Stack, full stack JavaScript development. The MERN Stack is a powerful set of technology for building robust, scalable web application entirely with JavaScript. So basically, MERN Stack is just a stack. With the help of, we can become a full stack by using the single programming language, which is the JavaScript, having the combination of MongoDB, React.js, Express.js, and Node.js. So basically, MongoDB is basically NoSQL database for flexible data storage. It is a document-oriented database. Then Express.js is a backend web framework for Node.js. Then React.js is basically a front-end library for building UI, user interfaces. Node.js is JavaScript runtime environment for server-side execution. Then what does MERN Stack components? So I will explain what does mean of this MongoDB. So basically MongoDB is one type of database. It is NoSQL database which with the help of which manages the flexible data storage. A NoSQL document based database, it stores data in flexible JSON like documents. So basically it is a document based database. It stores the data in JSON like documents, eliminating the need for a rigid schema. So here the schema are available. Then this makes it ideal for dynamic data and rapid development. Its features include high scalability and availability, replication and sharding, which have these features like scalability, and all these things are available in this MongoDB. Then Express.js, it is basically a robust backend framework. It provides robust set of features for web and mobile application. Then simplifying routing, API handling and authentication process through its middleware architecture. So basically it is very simpler backend framework. If you know JavaScript already, having a minimalist and flexible Node.js web application framework. Then MERN Stack components like React.js. It is basically a dynamic front-end UI library. It is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces developed by Facebook, which is developed by Facebook for making the user interfaces, which is more simpler. Then it uses a component-based architecture, allowing developers to create a usable UI component. So it have the component-based architectures, so we can use particular component again and again, like write once and use everywhere like that. Then JSX, a syntax extension, facilitates writing HTML like code within JavaScript. So which supports the JSX, sorry. JSX stands for JavaScript Syntax Extension, which is basically a combination of JavaScript and the HTML. With the help of we can embed the JavaScript within a HTML. Then its virtual DOM ensures fast and efficient UI updates. So it uses virtual DOM instead of real DOM, which make it more faster and efficient UI update instead of updating the component or website again and again if there is no changes are also there. So the reason React.js is more faster than the another framework. Then what is mean of this Node.js? It is basically a server-side power. A JavaScript runtime built on COM Viet engine, enabling JavaScript execution outside the browser. So JavaScript is made to run the browser only as a front end only, but by it providing this runtime environment Node.js, we can run in outside the browser. Its non-blocking input output model handles concurrent requests efficiently, making it perfect for real-time application. So yeah, it is really good for real-time application. It handles input and output like WhatsApp and all these things very smoothly. Then Node.js boasts a massive ecosystem of libraries via npm. So yeah, this all from my side, like all the introduction of this MERN stack. Then I will tell you why should we learn this MERN stack. So basically, I will tell you first reason is the single language ecosystem. Develop both front-end and back-end using only JavaScript, streamlining the development process and reducing cognitive load. Strong community support, benefits from a vast global community, extensive document and numerous open source tools and libraries. So basically first one reason is the single language. There is no need to learn multiple language. It confuses to switch from one language to another language. So single language ecosystem for front end and back end. So basically it is a smooth development process for beginner, and in short time we can become a full stack developer. Having the strong community system also one of the reason. Having the all things are open source freely available to everyone, this is the second reason. Then scalability and performance, build high performance scalable applications capable of handling large user bases and complex data interaction. So it having the high performance also, and we can make this scalable application. So it is also one of the reason. Then high industry demand. One is a highly sought after tech stack by startup and enterprises use industry giants like Uber, Netflix, and Airbnb and Walmart Labs. So industry demand also there because the React is a framework which is also getting more popular. Node.js and Express.js are also good, as well as MongoDB, which is basically a good database, NoSQL database, and which is also simpler. So that's all from my side. Then thank you so much for your patience listening. Thank you.